Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I did get yelled at yesterday about not unloading the dishwasher. Now, many of you guys out there may be able to identify with this, but what I did in this particular case, because I did plead that I didn't know that they were clean, what I did in this case is I had opened the dishwasher at some point during the day, but I opened it just enough to where I couldn't, quote, really tell if they were clean or dirty. They just, at first, really quick glimpse, they looked like they were kind of dirty. And so I didn't think they were ready to be unloaded. Okay? I'm sticking with that story. Okay, let's start with Matthew Liney. He tweeted this out last night, and I saw this. Luxembourg is the center of the EU and pushing hard for DLT adoption. Now, I will tell you this. I was watching a video actually this morning where they said it was someone that was made the comment that in the EU that anything that comes from Luxembourg kind of immediately can disperse out into the EU. That I don't know exactly how true or not true that is, but basically it was presented like Luxembourg is where everything starts. And apparently, if you look at this, Luxembourg Shaping Sustainable Future Ambitions 2025, they've got a whole write-up here on DLT and for financial services in Luxembourg are numerous in areas. They even mentioned Ethereum in this document. But when I hear Luxembourg, it immediately reminds me of two things that I've seen out of Ripple, and so I replied to Matthew Liney in this. The first one was this. I said, remember this? And this is Chris Larson with this guy who he's the professional account of Luxembourg's Minister of Finance. I guess, I don't know if that means he's an assistant or he is the minister. Maybe he is the minister. I don't know. But anyway, and it also, I said, or this. And this was when Luxembourg House of Financial Technology says the delegation stopped by Ripple office in San Francisco. And I remember Brad Garlinghouse with those Luxembourg glasses on. So Ripple obviously is involved in speaking with the Luxembourg government and making some headway there. And that was from back like in, I think, 2016. XRP Bart at XRP Bart sent me this. Now, I got one of these yesterday too, and apparently this is the liquidity index for coins.ph XRP PHP 28-day moving trend. The day progressed 79% today so far. 2.4 million. All-time high is 1.9 million, which I think was set yesterday. So the volume is the liquidity is going up like crazy. All right. XRP Crypto Wolf, Standard Chartered Bank invested in Contour, an R3 Corda blockchain trade platform to streamline transaction settlements. They're scaling with more banks, companies, and partners. R3 Corda's Contour is launching a commercial product in the second half of 2020. Remember when Chris Larson was using these containers? He was trying to illustrate blockchain and how I guess XRP would work, and he was using these as an illustration, as an example of how, trying to explain how it would work, as I recall. Ticket Attorney sent me this from Ripple. Ripple had tweeted this out yesterday, and I remember watching these guys on stage. At Swell by Ripple, Ben Lawsky joined Ripple's general counsel, Stuart Alvorada, to discuss the origins of BitLicense and lessons learned that may help inform future regulatory frameworks. And Bank XRP had replied with a quote from Lasky, "The genie is out of the bottle." Seems like I've heard that somewhere. This global viewpoint is inevitable because Lasky's words, "The genie is out of the bottle." That is something I have said on this channel a lot. The genie, you're not putting this genie back in the bottle. Synod, sent me this, where Stuart Alvorada tweeted this out yesterday. He said the genie is out of the bottle also. Proven use cases like Ripple's on-demand liquidity is driving sweeping changes in financial services, clear regulatory frameworks, further improve financial services for all. Now, every time you see Stuart Alvorada, here's what I want you to think about. This guy is a very sharp guy, and so is Ben Lawsky. These are not average Joes, folks. These are educated, very intelligent, very connected guys. Every time you see Stuart Alvorada from now on, here's what I want you to think. He left, but he was the general counsel at the CIT Bank. He left being general counsel there to go to Ripple. The board member that made him, one of the board members that made him the general counsel at CIT was our Treasury Secretary, right? Who is Steve Mnuchin. Steve Mnuchin was on the board when they made Stuart Alvorada the CIT general counsel. So then Mnuchin leaves to go to become the Treasury Secretary, and soon after that, or maybe a year or so after that, Alvorada thinks it's a good idea to go become Ripple's general counsel. Do you think that he made a call to Steve Mnuchin before he did that? I'm betting that a guy like that would do such a thing, or talk to many other people as well. Is this a smart move? I'm just putting my money on the fact that he would. And Ben Lawsky, remember, I believe he ran the New York something or other, and he would have done a similar thing. Okay, but anyway, this guy, XRP Ikes, I don't know, Big Cheese, was showing something I said before. The genie is out of the bottle, and it has gotten so fat that it can't be put back into the bottle. That sounds like something I would have said. Okay, Sergeant Obi-Wan sent me a few things today. The first is this: Coinbase Pro. Coinbase Pro will be offline for scheduled maintenance with trading and all markets paused this Thursday, January 30th, from approximately 9 a.m. Pacific time to 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. All resting orders will remain. All right. Anytime anyone's going down for maintenance, we try to bring that up because it's significant in one way or another. Next, Uphold. You can now deposit directly to crypto from a debit or credit card with zero fees. That's right. Go from your card to Bitcoin, XRP, DGB, any crypto without the typical 3.99% credit card fee. The new Uphold, available on Android and iOS. So they've got it all set up now. Okay. And Sergeant Obi-Wan also sent me this. There's a lot every year about this time. Everybody starts to speculate as to whether it's time for a crypto firm or a digital asset firm to do their the first ever Super Bowl ad. And so every year this kind of speculation begins. David Schwartz, as we all know, loves to drop little hints. So a lot of people are speculating that David Schwartz is dropping hints. This is the second Super Bowl tweet that I've seen David Schwartz tweet out. And this person had said, this has meaning. Does it have meaning? I don't know. But it's worth bringing up. Okay. Then Free American Spirit sent this. Now, this is interesting right here. This is interesting, folks. This is from CoinDesk. Former acting CFTC chairman and Ledger X board member Mark Weten is the new CEO at Miami International Futures Exchange, where he will build out its crypto asset and derivatives products. Let's go look at this guy. He says he was at the CFTC. This is the quote. It says, Weten will play a pivotal role in projects relating to the futures business as the MIAX exchange group expands from electronic trading of options into cash equities, futures, and innovative products, including digital securities and crypto assets and derivatives, the press release said. Well, I looked through this article, and the one thing that I did not see mentioned in this entire article, which should be mentioned and is not, is this. Mark Weten was the managing director and head of global public policy for DTCC. And I've told you several times, when the history books are written, there are three names of organizations that will be in the history books with regard to Ripple. One is DTCC, one is R3, and the other is PolySign. Don't forget those three names, because when these history books are written, those will be in those history books, somewhere hopefully right near the digital asset investor, but I don't know if I'll get a spot that prominent. In fact, I know I won't. Okay. But let's look at this is a DTC. This is something that Mark Weten retweeted earlier this year around the new year. Let's see. Yeah, it was the first. 2020 will be, here it is. 2020 will be a year dominated by the impact of geopolitical events, digitization, and tokenized securities. That's all I wanted to show you. You can read the rest on your own. Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29 sent me this from Mac Attack. MoneyGram launches first ever Ukraine bank deposit service. MoneyGram, it says MoneyGram is bringing money transfer services to Ukraine, partnering with Industrial Bank to let users send money directly to anyone's bank account. That speaks for itself. It's all you need to know. Let me refresh this. Right here, this guy says, right here, maintenance was also planned at Bitso today, midnight Mexico time for 3 hours. So there's more maintenance going on. Then there's this, more Super Bowl speculation. My top three guesses for who might put out a commercial during the Super Bowl. Let's speculate here for a minute. He's saying Gemini, Coinbase backed, crypto utility guy says adds Ripple to that. Let me add a couple. Fidelity Digital Assets, Eris X could do it. Let me think who else. Circle could do it. There's several others that could do it. Uphold could do it. Let's see. Coinbase could do it as Coinbase Pro. Who knows? But there's a bunch that could do it. And I don't know if this is the year or not. I hope it is. What will you do? Ask yourself this. What will you do if Ripple does a Super Bowl commercial this year? You know what? All of my friends will turn to me and look at me, and I know they will say, USOB. You were right. That's what they'll do. The crypto utility guy sent me this. This was, I don't think I've ever seen Sylvester. He's getting old now, but I don't think I've ever seen a video where Sylvester Stallone puts it on Twitter like this. He says, sometimes I wake up and feel like doing nothing, just relaxing, just very, very true. If anyone says different, they're lying. It's human nature. Then you roll over, get a little mad at yourself, and realize to get anywhere, you've got to make a deposit in the gold bank. He's so right. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Keep punching, my friend. Keep punching.
There you go. And then finally, one of the greatest speeches of all time. I've never played this before, but I'm going to play it now and see if I can get away with it from a copyright perspective. We'll see what happens. I can cut it off the end if it doesn't work. But here we go.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life.
Well, there you go. So I guess I'll finish on that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. and tell your friends and family that Sylvester Stallone says that you've got to make a deposit in the gold bank today. Thank you for listening.